What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react to a video that really caught my attention. This is called What the US Doesn't Understand About Canadians. So, as an American, I'll openly admit that there's a lot of things that we don't understand about Canada. So I thought it'd be cool to take a look at this video. I believe this video is mostly gonna be talking about the current events that have happened, tariffs, trade wars, the US-Canada relationship, and what Canadians think about it. Because, to be honest, a lot of us Americans really don't understand how Canadians are feeling right now about all this. So let's take a look.
Recently, Gavin Newsom and other governors have been begging Canadians to come and visit.
Whoever's staying in Canada have always shared so much in common. Sure, you know who's trying to stir things up back in D.C., but don't let that ruin your beach plans. 2,000 miles from Washington and a world away in mindset.
Oh my God, this is what it's kind of come to here in the United States. This is like where we're at. There are literally states like California that have to put out like marketing campaigns and ads to try to beg Canadians to visit, to want to travel here, because that's a whole other huge thing that I've learned about, that Canadians are not wanting to travel to the United States. And a lot of Canadians are just straight up boycotting American travel and buying American stuff, and it's having a really big, profound effect on the United States. And it's actually a big problem for us. And I haven't seen this actually, but I'm not surprised in the slightest that there are states that now are like, Canadians, hear me out. We have nothing to do with Donald Trump or the tariff policies. Please come visit us, please. I'm not surprised at all. Like, this is kind of what it's come to.
Ruin your beach plans. 2,000 miles from Washington and a world away in mindset.
As a Canadian, let me explain to you what this is like. You invite me over to your house for a pool party, but you've rented the place out to a crazy old man who wants to interrogate me at gunpoint and keep shooting up the neighborhood.
Hold on. What is this? Okay, this is exactly what I want to hear, honestly. I haven't heard this whole situation expressed like with this particular analogy. Let's take a look here. Canadian travel to the US has plummeted. I've heard about that. One reason, fear. Fear? Now, I know travel to the US has plummeted because really the American reputation has plummeted. People don't like us as much. And probably rightfully so, to be honest. Especially Canadians have like so many reasons to really not like us right now. So just out of like, for that reason alone, for me, that's why I would think a lot of Canadians don't even want to travel. You don't want to go somewhere if you don't even like them. It's as simple as that. But this is saying another reason has to do with fear. What fear of being deported, or like customs or border, like Trump putting you in one of those weird ICE detainment facilities? Is that another thing as well to be like afraid of?
Ian, let me explain to you what this is like. You invite me over to your house for a pool party, but you've rented the place out to a crazy old man who wants to interrogate me at gunpoint.
So, So in this analogy, are we talking about Trump is the crazy man with the rifle, like interrogating you, or maybe like ICE, the immigration and customs enforcement that's doing all the rounding up and deportations of people, and either way. Okay, so I'm sticking with the analogy so far. I get it.
Keep shooting up the neighborhood. Now you're begging me to come over? Next thing you know, you're going to be standing at the border with a boombox over your head.
Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, geez. I mean, when you put it like that, and I also like all the Back to the Future references here as well. That's very good. When you put it like this, yeah, absolutely. Like, if this is the reason, or just not liking the US's policies and government, if that's the reason, whatever the reason, yeah, it makes total sense.
Maybe you can start liking and subscribing my videos, because God only knows this lot ain't. Now, to be sure, this aversion to you is not moral grandstanding. You're out of order! Canadians love to visit places that don't respect the rights of their own citizens. But they do know how to treat their guests right, and we all know that's what matters most.
Oh my God. So what is this saying? Canadians have like a special disdain for the United States in particular, because people will travel to countries where you don't agree with their government. You'll like I don't even know what a good example would be, but what Canadians will still travel to other countries around the world where the government might not be perfect, doesn't treat their citizens perfectly, or you don't agree with everything they do, but you still travel there because it's like nice or something. I don't know. The United States, no, it's come to the point where like a lot of Canadians are just past that point where it's like you have such utter disdain for what the United States is doing that like it doesn't matter how nice California or Florida or wherever you want a vacation to. It doesn't matter. Like you're willing to give that up because you just don't want to be there.
Meanwhile, you're locking up pretty young white women. The only murder...
I did a video about this. I know about this. Hold on. Roll it back. Wait, where'd she go? There she is. Okay. The Canadian woman that was detained by ICE for like weeks. And it took a lot of effort and national attention to like get her back to Canada, and like it's a really scary story what happened to her. I learned about that. Yeah, that's a thing.
You're locking up pretty young white women. The only murder and kidnap victims any of you care about. You know what kind of signal that sends to the rest of us? We're all fucked. And I'm personally dying to visit America. You have what I consider to be the holiest of holies and my personal mecca. I'm talking, of course, about the Star Trek original series set tour.
Okay. He had, I don't know if he's being sarcastic right now, or if maybe he's being genuine. You know, maybe he wants to visit the Star Trek set tour in the US. But I don't know, that caught me off guard a little bit just now, hearing him say basically, he's saying he would like to be able to travel to the United States. There's places that he wants to go in America, but he won't. And that speaks, even though he's making a lot of jokes here, that actually does speak volumes.
Ticonderoga, New York. A screen-accurate recreation of the original series sets laid out not like it's a real spaceship, but how they were laid out on Stage 9 of Desilu Studios from 1966 to 1969.
Cool.
This is next-level uber nerd shit going on, the way only Americans can do it. And I want to go.
So, there are Canadians who would like to do stuff in the United States. There's stuff you'd want to see or do, or maybe a business you want to take care of, maybe a family here, whatever. But you're willing to accept the inconvenience of boycotting travel to the US because of making a point, for one thing, for like standing up for what you believe in, standing up for Canada, and also for protesting what America is doing to Canada, and also for to hurt America, you know, for lack of a better way to say it. A lot of Canadians are probably doing this to not support the United States financially with like tourism spending and revenue, which has gone down. I've learned a little bit about that as well, like the astronomical drop in tourism revenue that the United States is experiencing, because I think it's not just Canadians that don't want to come to America. It's like a lot of people around the world, especially with like there were some tariffs that were enacted this month, certainly against Canada, increasing it from 25 to 35%. America's has tariffs on Canadian automobiles and metals and all this stuff, but America is also tariffing, I think, like 60 different countries around the world now. So we're really, God, pissing off a lot of people.
And I was planning to go. And then you did this. And this.
Trump threatens Europe and Canada if they band together against the... See, and it's that... oh, no. Oh, no, the humanity. I didn't even see this before, but obviously something Trump would say. Threatening Europe with more tariffs if Canada and the EU do economic harm to America. Oh my God. It's so frustrating because it's like this attitude of America can do whatever we want. We can do whatever we want. We can cause harm to anybody, and it's fine as long as it benefits us. That attitude is so... And then if anybody retaliates, like Trump called Canadians like mean and nasty for retaliating. If anyone retaliates against America, if you want to do harm to us, now that's very bad. That's not allowed. That's immoral. You're not what? It's so hypocritical. It's incredibly hypocritical. I almost can't even like process it.
And this. And
Trump threatens to acquire Canada, Greenland. Yeah, oh boy.
this.
Trump job-killing tariffs threaten Canadian auto.
And this.
Detained Welsh tourist tells of experience in U.S. What is... Oh, I didn't see. There's like too many of these stories to even keep track of. I know there was the Canadian woman detained for weeks. There was oh no, this is the British. I have heard of... Okay, this girl is the British tourist that was detained in the U.S. just for wanting to travel and sightsee and stuff. I did hear about this.
And this.
European visitors to the U.S. surprised by denial of entry. I don't think anybody's like getting too surprised anymore. Like I think we've all heard something at this point about like the scrutiny of coming into the U.S. being very high. Sometimes if you come into the U.S., they want to like check your phone. It's just such an invasion of privacy and free speech, you know? Who cares what's on your phone? I don't care if you text somebody on your phone and you say, I hate America for what they're doing to Canada. If that's on your phone and you still want to travel here, that's fine. That's your right to speak your opinion. That's supposed to be like a big American value, to just speak your opinion, whether you agree or disagree with what the U.S. is doing. And now we're like, I don't know, this gets me real worked up, you know? The idea that we're like we're cracking down on that and actually turning people away for having a different worldview or opinion is crazy.
And this.
50 migrants sent to El Salvador prison entered U.S. legally. Trump says unsure whether people in the U.S. are unsure whether people in the U.S. are entitled to due process rights. Scary.
So Gav, you want me to visit? Evict the old man, clean up your house, and me and my pool noodle will be over lickety-split.
So So yeah, like Gavin Newsom in California, and I'm sure other states, especially states that like probably are more Democrat than Republican, are actually making social media posts and ads to try to like cater to Canadians and be like, please ignore the stupid things our president has done or said, and please visit, please, pretty please. But it seems like at least this Canadian here, who we're listening to, he doesn't really even care about that. Like it's either all or nothing, I guess. I don't, and this doesn't represent the thoughts or opinions of all Canadians. This is just one opinion that I did want to take a look at. But from what I can gather here, he's basically saying for him, it's so long as Trump is the president of the United States, he's not stepping foot in America.
Whoa, you really cleaned this place up. Looks brand new.
Another Back to the Future reference. That's good. This was by not another Gen X guy. Nice video. Really thought-provoking. Also very like silly. Very silly and funny, but I like that. And it also managed to portray like a very important message and give me a better idea of what like Canadians are kind of, how Canadians view this whole situation and stuff. Because, yeah, a lot of Americans don't really bother to hear about the viewpoints of the people that we're directly affecting, So, yeah, this was great. I actually really enjoyed looking at this. Anyway, if you enjoyed this too, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment with your thoughts, especially if you're Canadian. This affects you. You probably have an opinion on this as well. That'd be awesome to hear about. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Canada and seeing Canadian things I've never seen before, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching and see you next time.